morning, everyone, and welcome to Challenger Connection number 21. I am so excited to make a very important announcement. We are going to have a special guest join our Challenger Connections very soon, and his name is Colonel Terrence Wilcutt. He is Kentucky's one and only astronaut. So, how can you meet him? Well, we are going to hold a contest called Ask an Astronaut. And in the comments below, you will find a link to the form where you need to fill out the question that you would like to ask Colonel Wilcutt. Well, who is Colonel Wilcutt besides Kentucky's only astronaut? Well, I looked up a little bit of information about him. He was actually born October 31st, 1949 in Russellville, Kentucky. But he actually grew up in Louisville, where he graduated from high school, Southern High School, in 1967. Then he went on to Western Kentucky University, where he had received a Bachelor's of Art in Mathematics in 1974. He then taught high school math for 2 years in Louisville before he went on to join the Marine Corps. Well, what do you think he was in the Marine Corps? You're right. He was a pilot. He was a test pilot. And he flew airplanes like an FA-18 Hornet, a Corsair II, even the F-4 Phantom. He's had over 6,600 flight hours in more than 30 different airplanes. Well, Colonel Wilcutt decided he wanted to be an astronaut, and so he was chosen to be in the astronaut corps in 1990. And he went on 4 space flights, which is actually quite a few for an astronaut. He went on STS-68 Endeavour, STS-79 Atlantis, STS-89 Endeavour, and STS-106 Atlantis. And that was his last flight, and that was in the year 2000, so 20 years ago. Colonel Wilcutt, on some of his flights, was the pilot. He also flew to Mir, the Russian space station, and he also was on one of the first missions to the International Space Station. Well, currently, Colonel Wilcutt is not an astronaut anymore, but he still works for NASA. He is actually the Chief of Safety and Mission Assurance, which basically means he is in charge of all safety for all the missions of NASA. And that is a very, very important job. And he actually directly reports to the director of NASA. So let's talk a little bit about what Ask an Astronaut is going to be. So you're going to use the link in the comments to fill out the form and ask your question for Colonel Wilcutt. My suggestion, do what I did. Go online, look at some things, look more at his flights, ask some questions about what he did during his 4 flights on the space shuttle. And we are going to accept those questions, and we're going to look at those questions, and you might be chosen to be on the live Q&A with Colonel Wilcutt. Now, Colonel Wilcutt has visited here many times, but we know right now that people aren't allowed to travel. So we asked Colonel Wilcutt to do a live question and answer session with us on the computer. We're going to use something called Microsoft Teams. Don't worry about it. We'll help you get linked on if you're chosen. So please, please, please fill out the form, fill it out completely, fill it out accurately, and make sure you get your question turned in. Now, most of our Challenger Connections have been just for kids, but guess what? Even adults can ask a question if they'd like, because everybody is interested in space. So don't forget, questions are due by May 11th. Make sure you fill out that form completely and accurately, and we look forward to reading your questions. This is Commander Melissa Over and out.